Steve Martin just turned 80, but he is not holding back any secrets. Behind his legendary comedy career lies some serious drama. 6 famous co-stars he could not stand working with. These are not just funny stories. They reveal real clashes, broken trust, and moments that changed his career forever. If you think working with stars is all fun and laughs, think again. Stay with us to hear Steve Martin's raw and honest truth about his toughest co-stars, the ones who pushed him to his limits. One of Steve Martin's biggest clashes was with Bill Murray. During a live sketch, Bill showed up almost an hour late. When he finally appeared on stage, he mocked Steve's clean and tidy style in front of everyone. Steve stayed calm, but inside he was very upset. After that night, the tension between them was so strong that they did not speak for over 10 years. Even when they both attended a film festival years later, they kept their distance and did not interact. Steve takes professionalism very seriously, and Bill breaking that trust left a deep mark. This clash shows that even great comedians can have real conflicts behind the scenes. Steve Martin once co-hosted a charity event with Bette Midler. Things did not go as planned when Bette ignored the script and started singing over Steve's monologue. Steve stayed polite, but felt frustrated. Eventually he left the event early. Later he sent a donation with a note that read, "Tell Bette it came from her biggest fan, Silence." This showed how disappointed he was. Steve had hoped they would work together as a team, but instead, he ended up watching a one-woman show. This incident, though small, left a lasting impression and made their working relationship awkward. It is a reminder that even in comedy, respect for others' roles matters a lot. Steve Martin had great respect for Robin Williams' talent, but their styles did not quite match. Robin was known for his fast-paced jokes and wild energy, while Steve preferred structure and timing. During one skit, Robin turned a planned moment into a loud, unscripted bit that surprised Steve. Later, Steve said, "Performing with Robin is like reading poetry on a roller coaster." Though they respected each other, their different ways of working made them avoid collaborating again. This shows how even two comedy legends can struggle to find common ground when their styles do not align perfectly. At a comedy awards show, Jim Carrey gave a wild 14-minute speech full of impressions and jokes. Steve Martin, clearly getting annoyed, yawned loudly and walked on stage holding a "Wrap It Up" sign. Many in the audience thought it was part of the act, but it was not. Steve later said that working with Jim felt like dealing with complete comedy chaos. They were almost cast together in a buddy movie, but when Steve found out Jim was involved, he decided to pass on the project. This story shows how Steve prefers control and order, while Jim's unpredictable style can sometimes be overwhelming. Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn seemed like a perfect team on screen, but off-screen, things were different. Goldie loved to improvise and often showed up late, which frustrated Steve because he valued timing and preparation. At a party, Goldie even joked about Steve's banjo playing, a hobby he took very seriously. While these were not huge fights, the small things kept adding up. Over time, Steve quietly decided not to take on any more projects with her. This story shows how even small differences in working styles can create distance between actors, no matter how well they seem to get along in public. Steve Martin and Chevy Chase starred together in the movie Three Amigos, where they looked like good friends on screen. But off-screen, things were different. Steve always came prepared and followed the script, while Chevy often changed lines, interrupted scenes, and tried to steal the spotlight. Steve never shouted but used sarcasm to show his feelings. Once he joked, "If ego were money, Chevy could buy Wall Street." Their working styles clashed so much that Steve never worked with Chevy again. This story shows that even when actors seem close on camera, real tensions can exist behind the scenes. Steve Martin may be one of the funniest men alive, but behind the laughs, he takes his work very seriously. He values professionalism, respect, and teamwork. When co-stars bring drama, chaos, or big egos, it makes working with them difficult. These stories show that even the best actors face challenges behind the scenes. Steve's honesty about his toughest co-stars reminds us that comedy is not just about jokes. It is also about respect and trust. Thanks for watching. Let us know which story surprised you the most.